Hello, Ultimate Hoops fans. I'm Bob Stanke here, coming to you live from the Chanhassen Club, where we've got an exciting couple of days of basketball coming up here in Ultimate Hoops. So we wanted to highlight a couple of things on this preview show, talk about some of the big games coming up, and some other things that you should be looking out for. So to start this thing off, here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the draft tournament that's coming up here in the Minneapolis region. Make sure that you get out there and sign up if you have not yet. A lot of big games going on during that tournament. It should be a lot of fun action. The draft is on the 3rd of April, and the tournament begins on the 10th. So look at the links on the bottom of your screen, visit those, and sign up if you haven't already. We have big Thursday action coming up tomorrow. A lot of big games in a lot of different markets. Want to talk about those games, as well as the All-Star game coming up as well. So let's get things started. Let's talk a little bit about Big Thursday. A lot of big games going on. We've got, in the Tempe region, we've got the Tempe Ballers and the Team Jumpman featuring NFL star Donovan McNabb playing in the championship game there. We've got the Scottsdale championship going on as well. The Cougar Hunters and the Phoenix Ballers will be playing. And then in the Memphis region, the Blues against the Grizzlies. The big game tomorrow here in the Twin Cities will be happening at the Fridley Club, where the Ninja Turtles will be playing the Nuggets. We're going to bring on our color man, Nick, here in a second. He's going to break down some of the details of that game. Immediately following that game is our Minneapolis All-Star game. So a lot of big basketball action going on tomorrow here in Ultimate Hoops Land. So let's start breaking down the Fridley game. Key matchup, the Ninja Turtles and the Nuggets. So I'm going to bring in Nick here. I want to talk to you a little bit, Nick, about the big game tomorrow, what to expect, keys to the game, things like that. So first of all, thanks for joining me.
Yes, thanks, Bob. I mean, I'm glad we matched shirts today as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's kind of a good thing to have.
So I want to talk a little bit about the Nuggets first, okay? Some of the keys for them tomorrow in the big game against the Ninja Turtles. Can you kind of give us a couple of quick points on things to look for in that game?
Yeah, I think 3 big keys for the Nuggets tomorrow. 1, they need to remain focusing on defense. I think in Bloomington South, they're regarded as probably one of the best defensive teams. You know, they have tough defenders in Ferber, Jensen, as well as Thomas. Those guys can lock down pretty much anyone in the league. And if you look at the actual championship the game last week versus the Timber Puppies, they held them to a season low 52 points in that game. So they need to focus on that against the very explosive offense of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I mean, the Ninja Turtles are averaging over 31-point margin in their victories, so it's going to be key for the Nuggets to get out there and really shut that down.
Absolutely. When they put up points, they don't stop. So, I mean, if the Nuggets got to make sure if they do get down, they need to just make sure they focus on defense, doing the help side, because Ferber does a great job of actually protecting the rim. So if he can continue to do that in this championship game, that would be a big key for the Nuggets to win.
The Ninja Turtles are averaging just a little bit over 87 points a game. Are the Nuggets going to be able to match that?
You know, and that's my second key to this game. The Nuggets really need to slow the pace. If they try to get in a shootout with the likes of Joe Epple, Greg Regenshield, Luke Schlichty, Justin Monska, they're going to be in trouble. So I look for them to kind of pull the game back a little bit. Dan Murphy needs to control the pace for the Nuggets, and when he does that, I think it'll be beneficial to the Nuggets, because if they can limit the game to only 50 to 60 shots per team, I think they have a real good shot at winning.
Good. Any other points on the Nuggets to pull this victory out tomorrow?
You know, one key for the Nuggets has been, especially in this playoff run, is the incredible play of Joe Thomas. I think he's really been the MVP for the Nuggets this season. In the playoffs, he's been red hot, Bob. I think he's shooting 62% in the playoffs, including 83% from the line. He's a really versatile, I would almost call him a versatile swing forward. He not only can handle the ball, he shoots, and he can get to the rim. So the Nuggets got to give that guy touches to win the game.
Good. Okay. So now let's take a quick look at the Ninja Turtles. I've been fortunate enough to call games for both of these teams. The Ninja Turtles, unbelievable team. Let's talk a little bit about their position tomorrow night. Big game at the Fridley Club, 7 o'clock. Give us a couple of quick points on them.
Yeah, I think the Ninja Turtles are a very not only an explosive team, but they're kind of underrated. I think a lot of the Bloomington South teams look at them as says they're not that good. They play in Fridley. Well, if you look at a team that's 10-1, beat the defending championship Celtics by 10 points, that's a pretty good squad. So the number one key, I think, though, they have to realize going against the Nuggets is they need to push the tempo. They have a great group of guys, of 8 guys, who can play the entire game. They have a lot of UH veterans on their team, but they need to push the tempo because they have a bigger bench than the Nuggets and probably a deeper team. So they need to use that to their advantage in order to win this game.
Great. Yeah, I think what's interesting for me, having called games at both Fridley and Bloomington South, it's two different styles of play. So it'll be interesting to see, how those two come together. So, any other points on the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I think they need to control the glass. Obviously, reigning MVP of Bloomington South, Paul Ferber, had a monstrous game on the boards last week. He put up 20 boards, which I think is his second highest career average. So the Ninja Turtles are going to be undersized against the Nuggets, so they need to make sure they box out and control the boards. Thomas hits the glass hard, as you and I both saw in the semifinals at Bloomington South, and they need to keep the likes of Thomas, Kirby, and Ferber off the glass because they cannot let the Nuggets get second chance opportunities. And I think lastly, a point for the Ninja Turtles is competitive greatness. I'm not sure if a lot of people in the audience are familiar with John Wooden's building pyramids of success. His top building block is competitive greatness, and they need to be at their best when their best is needed. A lot of the guys on the Ninja Turtles have never seen a championship game besides Eppel and Smith. But if you talk about Joe Eppel, he hasn't played well in games that matter. When his teams is either win or you're done, he only shoots 32% from the field and only 14% from behind the arc. So these guys need to step up their game if they think they're going to just walk all over a very tough Nugget squad.
There's a couple of guys for the Ninja Turtles who have played in the league for a long time and have never seen a game like this before. So,
yeah,
what's going through their head going into tomorrow?
Yeah, if you look at guys like Greg Regenshield, it's his 10th season in Ultimate Hoops. Luke Schlichty, it's his 9th season. They got to be a little worried about the big lights and drama of a Ultimate Hoops championship game. This is something they haven't seen before, and their nerves are going to be on the line to actually try to play well in this game. So I think the guys in the audience, when we're doing the broadcast tomorrow night, need to look for that to see how those guys are playing to make sure the teams are going to be successful.
Well, we'll be there live tomorrow at the Fridley Club at 7 o'clock for the big Ultimate Hoops championship here in the Minneapolis region. Big question mark tomorrow that's still hanging in the air is Ryan Jensen. Right now the storyline is we don't know what team he's running with tomorrow. He's going to have to make a decision soon. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. He's been playing with both teams for quite some time. It's his third season in Ultimate Hoops. Every year he's played both seasons, whether it's been with the Nuggets in South or Ninja Turtles in Fridley. He's a great defender. I think that's what he brings to both these squads is the role he plays on defense. He's probably the best one-on-one defender in either league. He's second in steals in the Bloomington South League. He's 7th in Fridley, so he's a great defensive player. So I got to say, Bob, I pick whatever team he plays on to win this game. He's that much of a difference maker.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing what Ryan's decision is for that big championship game tomorrow. We also wanted to point out that we would like you, Ultimate Hoops fans, and other players to get involved in this decision. We'd like you to go to our Facebook page, Ultimate Hoops, search for us there. If you're not a fan, become one. We're going to have a poll up there. Have you decide what team you think Ryan Jensen should be on. So go out there, look for that, and vote. Last thing we want to touch on, we want to encourage all of our fans and all of our players of Ultimate Hoops to go on and start uploading video and photos to our Facebook fan page. Give us some fresh content that maybe we're not capturing at the games. Tag yourself, tag other players in the photos. Really interested in getting you guys to contribute to that as well. So visit our fan page, load up your pictures and videos. Otherwise, that's going to wrap it up here from our Ultimate Hoops Chanhassen facility. Interested in a very big game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in the Fridley Club. So until then, we're signing off. We'll see you tomorrow night. Ultimate Hoops, thanks for joining us.